It surprises me today as I visit customers and we talk about data protection challenges, data protection tools, that so many of these organizations aren't prepared for the most basic tasks associated with data protection. My rule of thumb is the traditional tools that we use for data protection, they start to break down at 30 to 60 terabytes. By the time we have an NDMP backup or a full backup that we're doing over the weekend, at 60 terabytes, we're no longer able to fit that backup into that window. So now we have a search for new tools, new ideas.
What we know in the creation of data and the utility of data, there's a long tail where the data is retained, but it's rarely looked at. But it has to be retained. What the Spectrum approach allows us to take is a fundamentally different approach to storage and data management, lifecycle management, data protection, data archiving.
Spectrum Protect gives me specific tools to help my customers with virtualization and data protection of the virtualization environment, to protect their applications, to protect their mail, to ensure that this content is available and accessible over the long term. Contrary to data protection tools that use a full backup strategy, Spectrum Protect is a file replication strategy. By only managing the data that is created, changed, or deleted, my backup windows are extraordinarily short. I'm no longer storing week after week copies of the same objects that didn't change. If they didn't change, I make sure I've got one copy on-site, one copy off-site, and I'm protected.
Part of the value statement and what's possible using this collection of tools is to build a multi-tiered infrastructure with different classes of storage, everything from tier 0, solid state, traditional disk, and extending all this out to tape, unifying it into one contiguous storage infrastructure where the system unto itself, the system is automating the placement of files and information on different classes of storage predicated on the utility of that storage, as if it's using a heat map. What we're solving is this phenomenon of having to buy high-priced tier 1 disk to solve an archive requirement for that data, and then buying yet more high-priced tier 1 disk to put off-site and replicate to solve a backup problem, using replication that we know is not actually data protection. It isn't backup.
One of the features that I'm excited about in Spectrum Protect is the idea that it's all in the software. My customers are no longer buying data deduplication appliances.
So using Spectrum Protect, what we're allowing the customer to enjoy is an incredibly lower storage CapEx, storage OpEx, and not only achieve their backup windows, but also allow them to drive the per terabyte cost of having a second copy well below $50 a terabyte. This gives an organization a lot more discretionary money for innovation, for line of business, for research, whatever their core investments are, and putting IBM in a position of cost leadership.